means, and it'll be about 95% profit. Okay? The most online gurus do not have as much profit as me because they have tried to scale. They try to scale, and what happens whenever you scale, two things. Number one is your profits get absolutely destroyed, and number two, your trust and ability to get results goes down because you hand off to an account manager. The account manager isn't as good as you. You hand it off to a script writer. That script writer is not as good as you. You hand it off to a media buyer. That media buyer is not as good as you. You hand it off to this person, this friend, this person that you hired. And it doesn't matter what you're doing in your business. Once you try to scale and you hire in the people and you do all these different systems and you try to train them and you try to get out of the way, the quality of work will go down and also the margins go down. So why would you want to do that? Yeah, sure, the freedom, yeah, eventually, man, eventually. Not anywhere near where you're probably at right now, okay? I am the only employee on my team. Instead, this is the second tip, you scale through rapidly raising your prices. There's a third part to this that separates me from the other 1,544 people. But I want to talk about raising prices real quick. And I just thought of that third one while I was talking. You need to raise your prices rapidly once you get above your baseline. And let me talk about baseline real quick. At the beginning, I had very low prices. Okay, my family, we only needed to make $5,000 a month to pay for our bills. I had a part-time job where I was getting about $2,000 to $3,000. Actually, it was a full-time job, which is a crazy sentence. And I was making $3,000 a month on a full-time job. And then all I needed to do was get $2,000 to get my head above water. Okay, so I only did $1,000 retainers. Okay, it was a very, very low offer. Once I got that, it took me about actually it took me a long time. But once I dialed in my offer, it took me about 3 to 4 months to get that. Then I no longer tried to stack $1,000 retainers because I didn't want to just go 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Next thing you know, I'm only at $15,000 or $10,000 with 8 clients. I took this time, instead of just stacking 5, I channeled all of my energy in getting a massive client. And it worked. About 2 months later, I got an $8,000 client. Okay, boom. I was able to then quit my full-time job, and I kept the smaller retainers. I landed a $10,000 client. I then fired my smaller retainers. Sorry. They were mad at me. They were very mad at me. Actually, that was a very hard conversation. It is what it is. It's business. Then I continued to stack. And my prices just kept going up and up and up and up. And you have to be great at what you do, obviously. Like, you can't do this if you don't spend time mastering your craft. If you don't spend time building relationships. If you don't spend time getting your life in order to be great at your craft. But the third thing, and this is probably what took me from the top 20 in that community to number 2, is I built a personal brand. A personal brand is the greatest return on investment that someone can have in the 21st century. If you ask me, would I rather have $1,000 in Bitcoin, $1,000 in the S&P, $1,000 in a house, or $100,000 in Bitcoin, $100,000 in a house, $100,000 in the S&P, or $100,000 or 100,000 Instagram followers? My goodness, I would take the 100,000 Instagram followers any day of the week. Okay, at 11,000 TikTok followers, I was probably making 25 to 30 grand off of my TikTok a month. This is not a flex. Do not take this as me being an internet guru trying to show you money. I do not care about it. Look at my roof. That is a literal blanket that I put over my window because I didn't want to buy a freaking window blind. Okay? Not trying to flex right now. I'm trying to give you clear paths forward so you can grow in your entrepreneurial journey. Let me recap everything. Do things that don't scale. Scale through rapidly raising your prices, and then scale through building your personal brand. That is how it is done. I've never hired a single person except for one editor. I have one editor. Let me rephrase that. I have one editor. And I cash collect more than almost anybody in the online business in my little sphere. Obviously, there's people that are way above me. I'm talking like my bubble. And it is fine. It is fine. Okay? No, I don't freaking go linger in Turks and Caicos and take 3 weeks off while my minions are building my business for me. And I know that's not like minion stuff. Like, that's just building a business. I made it sound like it was a bad thing to be an entrepreneur. I didn't mean it like that. But yes, I'm in this basement grinding often. And it's worth it. It's worth it. It's awesome. It's fun. I love what I do. I get to get better at what I do. That's another thing, is whenever you don't do things that scale, you stay close to the work. Whenever you stay close to the work, you get better at what you do, and then you can charge more of a premium because you get better results. Everything compounds off of you staying close to the work. Hire so slow. Hire so slow. And do things that don't scale. Don't even use the word scale until you're, I don't know. Just don't use the word scale for a long time. One of the most underrated skill sets for a top 1% content creator is the ability to analyze data. Okay? What does this actually mean? I'm going to give you a quick little example. We're going to do a little tutorial on how to analyze data. Let's say right here below the screen, we're looking at 10 TikTok videos. We're looking at our 10 most recent TikTok videos in the last week. You're going to ask yourselves 5 questions based off of the outliers. Out of the 10, you're trying to find the outlier. Maybe you average 1,000 views and you had 2 of them get 4,000 views. Okay, we have identified our outliers. We have now basically 5 questions to ask ourselves. Number 1, what is the format? What is the format that worked here? Okay, was it talking head? This is a talking head video. You're standing in front of a camera and I'm just talking. Was it green screen? Was it B-roll? Was I walking? Was it a reaction video? You know, what was the style or format of the video? Could that have been what led to the outlier? Number 2, this is the most important one, guys. If I could condense this down into one word, what would this video be about? This is what I would call your idea of the video, or the topic of the idea, but most importantly, it becomes your buzzword. So if you look at my page, anytime I say the words personal brand in the on-screen text, it is probably going to go pretty viral. That is a buzzword for me. I know based off data that I go back, and if I can put personal brand anywhere, if I can move it to the front of the screen, it is a buzzword. Okay, number 3, what are people saying in the comments, and what literal words are they using? For example, I was helping a kid who was a gamer. We were analyzing data, we're looking at the comments, and we noticed just a hair more comments were about a character in the game Venom. It's Marvel Rivals. It was about